All right, y'all, we live, man. We back with another one. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, and a better understanding of self. So check it. In this live, I'm finna go over Lord Jamar. I'm gonna go over Ceddy Nash, and I'm gonna go over a little bit of the ICE versus the protesters, the paid protesting that I think is going on. I'm gonna go over that, and I'm gonna take some calls, man, later on. So y'all tap in. I'm gonna let everybody get on, but first I'm gonna explain how Godfrey is speaking on the whole situation with Vlad and Lord Jamar. I'm a little late covering this, but I'm disappointed in Lord Jamar because we all need to stand together on something, and it's like we trying to get that to happen right now, and it just seems like we can't get everybody to be on one accord. But check this out, man. This is the latest from this Godfrey, Lord Jamar, and Vlad TV. Y'all know how I feel about Vlad.
Yeah, Lord Jamar is going back to Vlad. He's going back to Vlad, man. I'm like, wow. And he was saying that I was
Greetings,
gonna
honey.
go and sell out and go back to Vlad, and he just
Salute.
went back to Vlad. Man, that's corny as shit. I'm not going back. You got your mind. I don't have no beef with him. I don't have a beef with Vlad at all. I just not going back to the show because what he did was wrong. Culturally, it was just off.
So I'm just disappointed. This is why we disappointed in Lord Jamar. It's like, bro, you not looking good in the community right now. With all of this going on, from how strong your stance was to Vlad, and Vlad built his platform just like America built theirs. It's just we ain't like that.
It wasn't cool. So I'm not going back. No, I don't. I don't have a beef with Vlad at all. But I'm not going back though. That would be foolish. That would just be foolish. It just goes against.
Now you got Godfrey looking like he's standing on more business than you, Lord Jamar. It's embarrassing, bro. He's standing on, and he ain't even FBA.
Just too many sellouts out here. It's just too much. We got to be able to stand on principle sometimes. That's what I say. You know what I mean?
You got us over here agreeing with Godfrey, bro. We got to be able to stand on principle. It's just like this is a total bad look for him, man. When are these ninjas gonna learn? It's like, and I was rocking with Lord Jamar so heavy, bro, when he was beefing with Fat Joe. It's like us coming to, just linking up with Fat Joe behind all of that trauma that happened.
Lord Jamar is going back to Vlad. He took a photo with him the other day. Yes. And it was me and Lord Jamar that called Vlad that we were leaving his show, and this Negro is going back to him. He went back.
See, every time we put pressure on these Vlad TVs, these no jumpers, we got brothers that just don't learn. They don't got no code. They just feel like I'm finna go get $1. I don't care about what anybody. It's sad, bro.
Yesterday, I think, because Lord Jamar is mad that I don't believe that the earth is flat, which is insane. Which it doesn't, and I don't have a beef with Lord Jamar either. He has a problem with me because I don't believe the earth is flat. All right. Man, Richard is crazy. I'm just waiting to hear Lord Jamar's excuse when he gets back on there. That's what I want.
I think I know what Lord Jamar gonna think just because Vlad TV went down there to Willie D's channel and he said, I apologize for 5-6 years later, so he can remain relevant in the community. I don't want to hear that just because he did that, he good in your book. I think that was a strategic play he made, but that's what I think he gonna say. But let's hear.
Because I don't believe that the earth is flat. First of all, I don't really give a shit what the shape of the earth is. I really don't care. As long as it doesn't affect me flying a plane, going to the bathroom. I don't care if the earth is a parallelogram. The earth can be a parallelogram.
Now, my beef is with Lord Jamar. It's not even with the earth. It's just about the principles, man. You know, how you spoke on this man as a colonizer, and now you're going back on his show. I think that it just shows that he lost a lot. You know, he built his fan base, to me, off of, you know, standing on business, standing on principle. But when you do something like this, bro, we ain't finna check out your show no more. We not finna keep promoting the colonizers, bro. We just not finna do it. So my take on it is, you know, I'm disappointed in Lord Jamar. You know, I thought he was better than that. I thought he could stand on. I'm surprised that Godfrey is speaking and sounding more, you know, having more sense than Lord Jamar. That's crazy, but it is what it is, man. But here, now I want to tap on to your boy Ceddy Nash. Now, I did a video on Ceddy Nash about a year ago, and I said this guy is a YouTube informant. Because when he said a story about how he went to, you know, the police pulled him out of I forget what courtroom that was. He went to a court case. They pulled him out of that court case and talked to him. And I was just like, how he was telling the story, I just sensed red flags in there. The ancestors was talking to him. And a lot of people picked it up and they say, yeah, you know, Ceddy Nash is one of those YouTubers where they give information to, and, you know, now it's confirmed because Ceddy Nash just admitted to him being a crisis actor. That's what he said. Wait, what you put? Hood attorney? The hood attorney. Check this out, though. This is what your boy. Shout out to Blake too. I'm gonna get to him, but he put this out. Byron Blake, he did a good job. But check this out. I ain't gonna play it all, but y'all check this out.
And using Ceddy's own words just to bring clarity to the situation, so it's no confusion about what you seeing with regard to the dates and times on the paperwork. Since I see he trying to play that game and manipulate everybody. Okay, now at 1756, which is 556, officers responded to Ford and Western Ave for a report of a vehicle passing by, firing shots outside of a window. Now listen to Ceddy in his own words admit that after the officers responded to the scene, he got in the car with them and rode around with them while they were looking for the suspect vehicle. They also had a helicopter out, but they also had Ceddy in the car riding around with them.
If you have a 700 plus credit score, you qualify for Chase's new program where you could access up to
They want to sit at the table.
So it ends up happening. Cops say get in the car. I'm thinking to myself like, oh shit, nigga, I finna go to jail. But he don't put the cuffs on me. So I'm like, ooh. So then he pulls up to the exact spot that I was shooting at. He say, is this it right here? I'm like, shit. I'm like, yeah.
Now my question for this would be, how did they get to the exact location where the shooting occurred? And if you were the shooter, why would you take them back to this place and say, yes, this is where the shooting occurred?
So the cop is told, hey man, come down here. I'm in the back, I can hear it. He told, come down here. So he busts a right, he go down forward, pull to the left. There's a big ass vehicle that I did not remember. So it's a big, I think like an Expedition or something like that or anything like that. Car doors all open. It looks like, to my eyes, oh shit, niggas have stole the car and ran off. So I'm like, oh damn. So the cops say, hey, is this the vehicle? I'm like, I don't know.
What you just heard was Ceddy Nash admitting that he rode around with the police until the suspect vehicle was located. What I want you to pay attention to is this paperwork. Now, we've already broken down that the call was made at 1756, which is 556, right? Shortly before 6 o'clock.
Now, remember, I told y'all I did a video saying that Ceddy Nash is a YouTube inform, just like that other guy they had, No Face TV, and they exposed him of just putting out information for the feds. Check it out.
The officers did not make contact with the suspects until 22:30, which is 10:30 that night. So Ceddy is admitting right here that he got in the vehicle with these police and rode around for hours looking for this suspect car. I also want y'all to know, here it is right here. They had a helicopter out looking for this car too. Look at the report number up there. It's the same report number from the Ceddy paperwork. They had a helicopter out looking for this car while Ceddy was riding around in the police car for hours. Now, if you ever been to jail, you know the booking process is terrible. So while the report says that this incident happened on the 23rd and contact was made at 10:30 on the 23rd, Ceddy's brother wasn't actually booked into the county jail until 11:30 the next night. You see it right there. Time and date of booking, 11:30, 1/24/14. It says time and date of arrest because they usually don't consider you officially arrested until you booked in. Now, the reason this paperwork said...
Now, Ceddy Nash claimed to be a crisis actor. And we're going to get into that after this because it's a lot of actors. They're using a lot of black actors over there in Los Angeles for the protests. We're going to get into that too, but Ceddy Nash claims that he was just being a crisis actor.
Says that the firearm did not belong to anybody inside the vehicle is because nobody claimed it. So he's giving factual circumstances related to the arrest, not factual circumstances related to the disposition of the case. This report was made on the 25th, which is only 2 days basically after the original call was sent in. There's no way they got ballistics and stuff back that fast. But he's trying to twist the words here. So when you see this, the weapon did not belong to anybody in the car. They just saying that nobody in the car claimed it. With that said, he was arrested on the 23rd, went through that 24-hour booking process and got processed in on the 24th. And this report was prepared on the 25th. So everything that you see on this report was as of January 25th, 2014, less than 48 hours after the arrest for real, because this report was prepared at 8:30 in the morning. So that was, maybe 36 hours after the arrest. And there's no way that they got fingerprints, ballistics, and all of that stuff back in not even 36 hours, because they had to make it to the station. If he wasn't booked and processed until the 24th, then I'm pretty sure they didn't get none of that evidence registered in until then. They didn't get that stuff back in 8 hours. Nice try, Ceddy, but that's not how it goes. In any case, we've heard it out of your own mouth. You made the police report saying that you got shot at. You got in the car with the police and rode around, and you pulled up on a vehicle and said, I don't know if that's the vehicle.
Now, if you was a regular civilian, ain't nobody care. But it's when you guys claim to be so gangster and you ain't telling on nobody, and you know what I mean? It's like, it shouldn't be no excuse for you. You should know how to stand on principles and morals. And this goes to when, if we got to ban somebody like No Jumper or Vlad, we got to know that everybody going to stand on principles and stand on code. So it's like, we got to talk about this about y'all to make it not popular. We can't popularize this kind of behavior.
You sending them on a wild goose chase, knowing that you did something, you just trying to throw them off. Any car you pull up on, you supposed to be saying, no, that's not the car. No, that's not the car. You pull up on this car that matched the description of the car that you gave and say, I don't know if that's it. That might be it. Like, come on, bro. That's police work. What members do y'all know getting in the car with the police, riding around looking for a suspect? But it's your story. I'm going to let you tell it. I'm going to just do the breakdowns and the reactions. Now, I know some of this information might come as a surprise to some of y'all, especially considering the presentation that said he been giving off for the past few years about, you know, where he come from and how he
Sacramento.
is. Y'all probably thinking like, damn, Ceddy got down just like that?
Boom, boom, boom.
What if your website's success was only limited by one single thing? Privacy regulations.
So basically, right?
Actors, we can make you believe it.
So basically, it's just that Ceddy Nash, that happened in Sacramento. That's where he really from. But shout out to Senegal. Salute, salute. So now we're gonna get into Ceddy Nash claimed he was a West Africa. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to y'all out there in Senegal. So Ceddy Nash claimed he was a crisis actor. His sister from another mother. Salute. I appreciate you for tapping in. OYDI Kibi. Okay. But listen, the crisis actor. So if y'all don't know, they are people that's being paid. They've been doing this since, the guy G Soro. I don't like to say his name on my channel. Every time I say his name, they flag. But check this out about what's going on over there in California with protests and everything. Let's get it.
This is why this country is in the position that it is today. The color of my skin should not matter. Whether I'm brown, black, purple. This is a humanitarian issue. We are in this position because there is no unity.
Now the black and the brown community, we need to come together and we need to remember.
First of all, we done told you no. You don't even respect us enough to take no for an answer. We asked you to stop saying the N-word. You said no. And so come together and remember what exactly? Remember that y'all anti-black as racist as a lot of y'all. So we ain't got to come together and do a damn thing. We done said no. Respect our boundaries and leave alone. Okay? We done said no. The answer is no. When y'all come here, y'all want to align with whiteness. You love whiteness. You glorify whiteness and demonize blackness. So you need to make videos and ask white Americans to join with you. Because that's who you love so much, right? That's who.
Right. Check it out. Now, look. I'm finna play this. Check this out, though. This is from this is how this is how they bring up their daughters. Check this out. Tell me if this is my skin color. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it from the beginning. Check this out.
Like an older Mexican man won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say para mejorar la raza.
Yeah,
that's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Fucked up, bro. They're fucked up, bro.
So when my grandma moved to the city and my grandpa moved to the city and they met, my grandma automatically just seemed better because she was with this guy from Michoacan that was light skinned and white with green eyes. And she looked like Felipe, dark, short. And that she thought she was better, fool. Like, I swear to God, for my grandma just passed, but she loved my nephew more than she loved.
So the lady, what she's saying is facts. Does he think that the camouflage will hide his fat? Shout out to y'all, man. But that brings me to my point here, back to where we was at with Pink Book Lessons, to where how they talking about, they'll rather have white people in their family, but why don't they ask the white people in to help them out? Why would they ask black?
That's who boots you lick. So why the hell y'all not calling on them? Why are y'all calling on black people? Y'all always wanting to use black Americans. You want us to come out there and get the hell beat out of us for your racist, anti-black. It ain't happening. We said no. Period.
I just feel like if you could come here
and riot another country's government, another country's laws, tear down that country's cities all the time, all the while you're waving your flag, the flag of a country you're fleeing from, why not go back to that country and do the same thing to y'all government? Why not go and riot and burn down y'all cities to protest y'all own government for having to flee that country? Why come to a country that y'all fleeing from and burn it down because of our laws? When the same thing y'all doing here to our government, y'all can go and do it to y'all government for a better country, a country y'all wouldn't have to flee from.
Bro, you came here illegally, so you're getting sent back. Like, I'm not really understanding where I'm supposed to feel bad. Like, it's the law. Like, what? Am I missing something? Like, we also can't do that. We can't go to other countries illegally and just pop up and start working and all of that without things in order, without abiding by their laws. And to be honest, it's a much worse punishment if we end up doing that. I feel like America is being generous. Y'all are getting caught and then being sent by a plane or sent by a bus back home. That's pretty generous if you ask me.
Don't call me baby. Yeah, girl, hell no. We at home, we at the cookout. If you like me, we at the spa, we getting a massage.
She's right about that. Black people got boots on the ground right now, talking about where them fans at, line dancing with cowboy boots on, plaid shirts, clacking them fans all over the place, looking for the closest function for the summer fish fry, the summer barbecue, whatever outdoor event. Others on the relaxation tip at the spa, doing their self-care routines, exfoliating stuff. I mean, not popping a sweat about nothing that ain't got nothing to do with us.
We are wherever the hell y'all were when we were going through it. Because let's not play these games like y'all were outside. We were outside with our bloodline on the main line. And y'all was somewhere else. Okay? Now the shoe's on the other foot and it's not funny anymore. And everybody wants a defense. Everybody wants us to run to the rescue. This ain't our battle, baby. Let's get real. Who voted for him? Who showed up to them polls and voted for him? Now, I'm not saying what's happening is right, but who showed up and voted for him?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why are they trying to put us in this and you ain't putting up the people that you partner with? It's like they come running straight to us. Anytime it's issues, that's where everybody run. They run to us. Like,
Latinas for Trump, that's who voted for him, okay?
I have been struggling on how to say this, and I made a video earlier, I took it down, but y'all are focusing on the wrong people. Y'all are focusing on why don't black people care what Trump is doing? We do. But we're focusing on us and ourselves to survive through this. What y'all need to be focused on instead of, well, why aren't black people actively protesting and doing all the things that they usually do? One, because we told you we're not going to do that anymore. Okay, we told you. Y'all didn't listen. Two, because we can't help you as much as the people you need to help you. Okay? You need white people. You're focusing on black people, you need to focus on white people. You need to get their attention, their compassion, their empathy, their social and political power. You're focused on the wrong people. You're focused on the wrong demographic. Black people don't make up the vast majority of this country. We don't make up the vast majority of politicians. We are not in the White House. I'm telling you, you need to focus on white people and getting them to actively care and campaign and protest.
I'm with her on that, but too, it be black people. They use the black, just like you said in the comments, Patrick. There's black people that run these democratic cities. It's a black mayor. I ain't gonna say black people, but it's always a black mayor. They always have the most dysfunctional city, bro. It's by black mayors and they D9. I don't know what's the problem with that. They got gangs. It's like a criminal ran city. I don't know what's the similarities to that, but this is always the case. But yeah, I peeped that, Patrick.
In your name, in your favor, and leave black people alone.
And see, the reason why they're focusing on black people is because most white people, at least the ones who voted for Trump, they're not saving them because this is exactly what they voted for. They told Trump what they wanted, and Trump promised he would deliver. So why would they go against what they wanted to appease the people that they identified as their problem? Nah, but instead of going against those people, they're trying to lash out at Black people because they already have a problem with us anyway. They're always trying to find a reason to blame Black people for anything, even when we clearly have nothing to do with this at all.
Black people are tired of being a bank where everyone keeps making withdrawals and no one ever makes a deposit. And I want you to think about that. If that was your setup, would you still want to give? Especially for those of us in the Hispanic community, because it's about patterns that we've inherited and the harm that we've ignored.
Everything you're likely doing right now to get high-ticket clients online is wrong, and I'm going to teach you how to get traffic, build the right funnel, and generate clients for your industry right now. The first thing, and most people get this wrong, is they jump straight to driving.
Me, myself, I'm Puerto Rican. I've seen how anti-Blackness and colorism still show up in our homes, in our language, in our media, in our families. In many families, darker skin is treated like a disadvantage. When solidarity is needed, hesitation shows what's been internalized, and too many of us were raised to believe that aligning with Blackness meant losing something: safety, opportunity, acceptance. And we were taught the proximity to whiteness would protect us, that staying quiet was safer. So if we don't unlearn that, we end up repeating the same harm we say we stand against.
Wow, she told the 100% truth, and she's Puerto Rican.
So disengagement is not okay. What's happening to immigrant communities right now is devastating. I'm not taking away from that, and it does deserve compassion and support. But a good portion of that fear didn't come from distant forces, and it came from within our own communities. I've spoken out because I've watched people I know support systems that were never created for us to begin with. Systems that weren't designed to protect us, only to use us when it's convenient. So while I've raised my voice, I also know too many that have stayed silent, or worse, they chose power. We don't get to ask for empathy if we're unwilling to confront the harm our silence helped protect. And contrary to popular opinion, holding each other accountable isn't betrayal. It's how we begin to heal. So to the Black women and men that are saying we've poured into everybody and got nothing back, you're not wrong. You've carried movements, you've carried communities, you've carried generations without rest, without complaint.
Exactly, because these people wouldn't even be over here if it wasn't for us. None of them. They use the laws meant for us for their own advantage. And yes, we helped them in the past, but over the years, they threw us under the bus time and time again whenever they got a chance. That's why Black people need to just mind your business and let these people handle their own business.
Without question. And we cannot undo the silence that already has happened, but we can take responsibility for what happens next. I think people are not realizing we have way more similarities than differences, and we have more power together than we do apart. So look to your Black brother or sister, look at them and say thank you, and I see you. Simple as that. Strike up a conversation, get to understand, because that's all they're asking for, to be seen and to be appreciated for all they do.
Hey, she's telling the truth. I would say at this point, though, we don't even need to be seen. Black people need to be focused on getting their business in order, not attention and acceptance. Accept yourself, hear each other, and just mind your own business. Also, for the ones going back and forth, battling these people on social media, don't even waste your time. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this, Vlad.
So, basically, the moral of this episode, y'all, was number one, stand on code together. Appreciate that. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Appreciate you, raise head. Number one, we got people that we don't stick and stay on one, and stand on principle. We need to understand that. We got some Black people that's saying they're trying to advocate Black people to be in these protests, like the game. All of these people which we feel like are getting paid, it's paid protesters, and people are being paid. And I feel like it's by the Democrat Party. I said this in the earlier show, by the guy with the initials GS. I don't like to say his name on here because they go to flag him a channel. Yeah, we got to get our stuff situated. We can't be worrying about the immigration. That's the law. We ain't finna get in between the law. But we got people that's advocating us to stand outside and be doing all of this crazy stuff. like the game, like Maxine Waters. We got a lot of people that's pretty much being paid influencers to speak on this. There you go. That's his name. So I got to come up with a new way to say his name, but we know he's sponsoring all of this stuff. Okay, people get paid to protest. They got people that's protesting for free, but they use the paid protesters to get other people to do it for free. So it's like, it's a dirty game, but we ain't falling for it. Steal mine or make it better. Yeah, it's a dirty game they doing, but we know it's a plot that's ran by the Democrat or the GS guy, whoever it is. We know that it's something orchestrated. So I want to tap in on that, man. But if y'all listen, I'm finna open up the line. Y'all hit up, y'all. I want to get y'all opinion on this. I want to get y'all opinion. If y'all, I just heard that the Mexican government is calling for the ownership of Southwest America. That's crazy that they feel like it's their land. That's crazy. And this brings back the point of us. Wow, it's people claiming that this is their land, and the real owners of the land is us, you know? But they claiming that, oh, it's their land. Oh, it's this land. No, it's somebody got the land stolen from them. But how can you call them from Senegal? I don't know. I got the phone number right here. I heard you going in, Owl. Real though. But if you can just call that number. But yeah, they do feel like, I don't know how they could feel like it's their land, but California don't even feel like they trying to be attached to the US either. So it's a lot of weirdo stuff going on. But that'll be crazy though, Racehead, if they get their land back. We know who the real landowners are. But you got StreamYard, you can pull in people online easy. Got you. That's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm finna pull y'all in. She wanted to get on from Senegal. I want to see what. Boom. I put the link in the description. I can pull you in. I put the link in the description. Command V. But yeah, I do feel that it's being marketed. It's being marketed to get black people to join this force, just for the optics, so they could see. Appreciate you, Patrick. So they could see different, because we do got the governor of California, the white guy, I forget his last name, but he's definitely pushing for fighting against Trump. I guess all the Democratic Party, if you ask me. But we trying to get us on one accord, and sticking to the code. And lately I haven't been seeing that. But we're gonna get back to it. But Lord Jamar, shout out to Nia. Lord Jamar he disappointed me. New scum. It's just crazy to me that the game said that about the whole, the Mexicans and us going out and marching with them. Because they've been out there 5 days straight. Like, they ain't got no jobs or nothing. Like, come on, some money got to be made. I don't know nobody that's going to sit out there for 5-6 days straight without getting any money. So You put Southwest United States includes New Mexico, Arizona, and all parts of Oklahoma, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, and Texas. That's a lot. And that's heavy populated with the Mexican community too. You put, isn't his baby mama Puerto Rican? The game, I thought she was half Puerto Rican, but I'm not too sure. But that's crazy. If she is, that would be the reason why he let me see if I can get something working here. All right, Patrick. That's crazy, honey yo. Well, honey yo, you out of that you out there in LA, so I want to get your opinion. Is it a lot of black? Is it, because I seen some pictures of black people standing with them? What would you say, honey yo, like the percentage of people that's actually helping out there that's black people? I want to get your opinion. Same difference if some of her family members are in danger. Yeah. Of being kicked out, so he probably gonna spread the word a little bit more. But man, I've seen some Mexican people that's saying this, and they not even hating on black. They just keeping it real. Like, but we can't sit here and have y'all coming in here like that. I'm gonna check this guy out. %1 of the Caribbean. What's up with these crowns in the chat? I don't see what crowns you seeing. What crown? 1%. Well, I put the you can come in. Command V. You could come in on StreamYard, but I want y'all to see what this I want you to hear what this guy said. Check this out.
You know what's crazy to me, bro, is when they had the BLM protest, everybody was popping out. Every celebrity, YG, the Ball Brothers, everybody was popping out. All the sports teams with BLM on their back, you know what I'm saying, wearing BLM shirts, you know what I'm saying, freedom, wearing all these shirts, you know what I'm talking about the NBA right now, actually. Where is that now? Where are the celebrities now? Where are they protesting now? Where are the teams now? Why is nobody speaking up? Even Kendrick Lamar made a song. Lil Baby made a song. But where's everybody now? Where's all the celebrities? Why is nobody popping out now? Now that everybody's protesting in Los Angeles, San Diego, Chicago, because of ICE, where is everybody now? Why is nobody speaking up? Why is just the minority speaking up now? You feel what I'm saying? Nobody's talking. Nobody's speaking. You know what's crazy to me, bro, is...
So that's what, everybody trying to compare themselves to us. You saying you see crowns in the chat, we don't see no crowns, but everybody trying to speak on, there go Patrick. Patrick Jan, what's up? Let me get you on, bro. Let me get you on. Hold on. Okay. Can you hear me? I can't hear you though, Patrick.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me now, brother?
I can hear you, bro.
Sorry, I got crappy lighting. Yeah, just ran across you, man. I appreciate what you're doing here. So just wanted to say hi and hello.
Oh, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So what you think of the show? What did you get from all of the stuff that I've been putting out?
And I mean, this is one of the frustrating things about, being here in the US is at the center of every discussion, one like race or group or some type of dividing factor always has to be put out at the forefront of any issue or the reason for an issue, It's
Yeah.
like we can't just be humans.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's what the Democratic Party, we see them, they always pushing the race baiting. In my opinion, it could be a lot of other people too. But what do you think about that, Pat?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the history of the party, right? I mean, it's like everything that we look back and we say that was an evil in the past of the United States, 9 times out of 10, that's something that came out of the Democratic Party, whatever the particular talking points are. But the one thing they never seem to do is like, well, what's that lady's name? The lady who was in charge of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Susan, was it? Not Winger.
You make me forget her name, but yeah.
She should be a forgettable name. Well, you know who she inspired, about 70, 80 years ago?
Who was that? Singer. Yes, the last
Yes,
name.
yeah. Was it Margaret Sanger? I think it is. Sanger.
Yeah.
Yeah. She inspired an Australian man who failed at painting and had a very tiny mustache. And he thought that, this idea of like getting rid of undesirables right at birth or before birth, this is terrific. This is a great idea. And it's very interesting how that mode is so well pushed in our country. And one thing you'll notice is predominantly like all these Planned Parenthood clinics. Where are they all put at?
In the hoods. Yeah.
Yep.
Primarily.
So if I remember the statistic, it's something like, so Black women make up like roughly 7% of the population, right?
Right.
14%, 50-50. And Black women make up over 75% of the abortions done at Planned Parenthoods across the country.
Wow.
Think about that. Well, when people want to make an argument about a genocide against Black people, okay, sure, maybe that's a thing. But where is this starting at?
Right. It's starting from way high up. How do you feel about, I'm hearing a lot of people that's saying that the Hispanic, how they're doing the Mexican culture right now, it's reported that it's like 65 million residents that they have here, right? Do you feel that, Black Americans, it's about 48 million. Do you feel that they could be trying to population control the Hispanics, the Latino community?
Well, I think population control in so much of the sense that, be it whoever's funding and managing the Democratic Party is looking for a way to stabilize and legitimize their control through kind of like, well, whatever groups of people we have to work through to make that happen, they're all just an ends to a mean.
Yeah. Because we're seeing it now with the transgenders. We're seeing a lot of those protesters too, so it's like it just looks weird to me, where we going with that.
Yeah, the whole trans thing is like, man, that's a whole episode on its own.
Yeah.
So I've got a very, very close friend of mine. He's the trans, right? So he'd be what you would call a classical trans. And so the way he broke it down to me, right? So, this is the guy in the rainbow community. And so his thing is there's basically 3 type of trans, right? There's the dudes that they know they're dudes, but they put on a dress because their other friends put on dresses, and that's kind of like their excitement, right? That's how they get each other at the bar. They all know they're dudes dressing up for each other. It's just like a fashion for them, right? And then you've got trend chasers, which nowadays are the absolute majority of them, who are just like, oh, this is the cool thing. I guess I'm a trans too. And then you have the objectively mentally ill. And so it's like you've got the two groups of people who are just like making the one group of people just, the dudes who are dressing up for each other and nobody else, you're making them look really bad.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a bad situation.
it is. It's a circus.
Yeah. It's a circus, Other
But
countries.
now,
Yeah. Go ahead.
sorry, brother. But now, like the whole trans and gays, it's like that's no longer in vogue. Nobody cares anymore, right? So now the new issue being pushed is the illegal immigration. But then you modify it with the lie by omission, right? It's not immigrants, it's illegal immigrants. It's people who didn't come over here correct. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How
many illegals do you think it could be from like right out of Mexico? If you 65 million people they said are registered that they have in the census, it could be short. What percentage would, if you had to guess, what percentage do you think, out of 10 Mexican areas would you think are illegally here?
Like Mexico specifically, or Central South America?
Central South America.
Okay. I think the high estimate of just 30 million illegals in general, that's kind of where my comfort zone is. It might be less than that, it might be more, but I go with 30, roughly 10% of the population. And I think that's a significant enough number because then that will allow them to flood people to red areas to have just enough to have a majority, 51-49, where they can start tipping traditionally red areas, and areas that are permanently blue, they don't need to funnel so many people in there. Which is why, like, you go out in the sticks, and I go, I travel a bit, I'm all over the country.
Right.
And so you go out in the sticks and it's just like, okay, you expect to see, a couple stereotypical farmers and hillbilly types and stuff like that. And then, you've got like a large, large factory of some type. Maybe they're making food or some kind of other thing, right? And then there'll be like 5,000 Hispanic people there in a town of 200 people. And that's pretty common. And you're like, oh, this is
weird.
Well, at least I know I can get some good tacos here.
Right. So you feel that, well, your claim is that the Democrat Party is trying to push these people to certain cities to get their votes to win over the Republican Party. That makes sense, though.
That's what the evidence suggests. I'm not sure if it's true, but if I'm just wearing my tinfoil hat and following the evidence where it leads me, that's what makes most sense.
Yeah, it has to. It definitely has to, because they're fighting for them. If you see the Democrat Party right now, they're fighting for this to stop. They feel like this is wrong. We're tearing up families and all kind of weirdo stuff. It's like we can't just stick to the law here, but it's weird.
Well, it's weird, but it's not weird because it's like they have to use the emotional signaling because they know if they try to take it on a facts or legal perspective, the case folds against them. It's just like, okay, well, yeah, they are criminals because they literally broke the law getting into the country. And I get it. It's the greatest country on earth, and everyone wants to come here and do their thing and make a better life. I get it.
Right.
Go by the process. My family had to go by the process. My wife is not from the US. We had to go through the whole immigration process.
Right.
And, you want to hear somebody who is who will go on a very violent tirade and just speak vociferously about this. Talk to any Filipino woman who came over here, like my wife, legally and properly, had to, wait the time, all the paperwork, all the biometrics, had to go through the system entirely. They're the most pissed off because they did everything correctly and they had to pay for it instead of somebody else just getting everything for free, plus extra benefits that she didn't get.
Exactly. I can understand that. Right. I can understand that. You got to come over here the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's been reports that they have been funding these people, giving them free stay to immigrants. How do you feel about the millions and millions of dollars that's spent on immigration coming here, and we're spending it out of our tax dollars? How do you feel? Like, is that kind of like disrespectful to the country? How do you feel about that?
I like how this turned into an interview. This is fun.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
man. I don't know. I know that, by working here, being the stereotypical, small business owner, not that I make anything to brag about, but enough to take care of my family. But I have to pay, a larger chunk out of my paycheck. And so like when you have like a regular like 9 to 5 job, right? You get your W-2 at the end of the year.
Right.
So when you're 1099, when you're a contractor, you have to pay self-employment taxes, and you have a separate tax on that. Then you have your regular federal employment taxes.
Right.
So for you and I to have at the end of the year, after all of my deductions, I make 50 grand. After all of your deductions, you make 50 grand. Well, on paper, if you were a W-2 employee, you probably made $60,000. On paper, I probably made $90,000 to $100,000, and that's the money I'm left over with after all of that. So I guess I look at it like, if I'm going to be giving up that much of my money, basically that much capability to provide for my children and my wife, I at least want it to be something that's beneficial, to, you know, my neighbors, the country, everything around me, right? I want it to be for the betterment, for the growth, and I want to be able to see the fruits of my labor.
Right.
And this does not do that. Whether it's this or all the bullshit foreign wars our government loves getting into all over the place. I mean, these are like the worst abuses.
Exactly.
And the fact that we have to fund these things that, nearly all Americans don't want any single part to do with, it's like you're adding insult to injury. And you also have the fact that our taxes are not enough to support all of this. So they have to print money to do that. And by printing money and causing inflation being strictly an expansion of the money supply. And so the greater money supply you have, the more dollar bills that are in existence, everything must necessarily adjust upwards in price, increase the zeros past the one in order to compensate. And that's something that just happens year after year after year. So you lose the tax money, and then you have the inflation that keeps punishing you for decades after the fact. I mean, to call it like an insult or a slight is, I don't think I could put it that mildly,
That's an understatement. Wow.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Crazy. Yeah, I didn't look at it that for. I mean, yeah, with the because in 2000, an ounce of gold was $279, and now we're looking at it as 3,300. But that's more looking at the dollar than me looking at the gold. You get what I'm saying?
A little bit. God, I wish my wife were here. She follows
Yeah.
that stuff like nobody's business. I'm like, really? Shiny yellow metal? It's really that
Yeah.
important to you? And she'll
Right.
she'll talk my ear off, and she knows everything. So like, fine. But she also reminds me, she's like, I pick up these little things here and there, um, of gold in particular. And she's like, well, I'm also kind of doing it as an investment, because as monetary conditions get worse, these going to inflate themselves over time, and they're going to increase in value. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I get that, and I hear all the economic people talking about that, YouTube, all the financial influencers, right? But
Mhm.
she pays attention to gold jewelry in particular. Um, and one thing she mentioned is like Asian people, very particularly Middle Eastern people, they want gold from Saudi Arabia. They want gold from Dubai. I'm trying to think. There's another third place that these are the top tier places to get gold instead of the U.S. or any other general place. Now, reason being is depending on the carat of gold you have, what that is, that's an alloy. So you have gold mixed with something else, some other not gold, some other impurity in it, right?
Right.
And so when people have rashes and allergies to gold, that's because of the alloy, the impurity that they put into it to add to it to, give it a little bit more mass to make you think you got something more than you did. And the
Right.
stuff that's typically made in the West, that can give people allergic reactions, whereas the Middle Eastern gold never does that because they have a cleaner metal that they put in there. And this, you also get a higher return on Middle Eastern gold than American gold.
Copper, he said. Yeah. Copper is one of them. That's crazy that they do that. So you're saying here in America, it's more, they're going to dilute it. They're going to try to make more money here.
Yes.
Than Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that makes sense. They're
Yeah.
giving it to you straight, like, here you go. Crack gold. Wow. man.
Yeah.
But,
Well, if you're going to cut it, at least cut it with something good, not something the junk you're going to throw away.
Right. That's crazy. So they've been robbing. The gold industry has been probably taking advantage of a lot of people for years, decades, probably,
Mm-hmm.
That's just messed
up. Yeah. One thing I used to give her hell about was like, okay, so you're going to buy, like a little bracelet or a ring or something. And she's thinking, okay, well, we need some money to pay some bills. Maybe I'll pawn it, right? And try to get a little bit of money out of it. And, shops here want to give you like 25, 33% of the value of the gold itself. And they have all these excuses that it's in jewelry form and it has this and that and just like whatever it is, right? Whereas over most places, Asia and the Middle East, I mean, I'll give you 90% of the value on the spot cash. And they won't do anything like that here in the US. So it's a complete scam from both directions, right? Because they make money when they buy it, they make money when they sell it, and you, the consumer, only lose on both ends of the trade.
So we need to act like we need to know about this. I'm glad I had this interview with you, because now we need to understand that, because we're losing on both ends. Anybody who's buying gold on this side, and they would think that this is the only place, like you can buy gold here like you can buy in the Middle Eastern, but it's not the same. Right?
Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah,
man. That was a gem. Man. We definitely have to spread that one around.
Yep.
That was a gem. So
tell you what, next time I interrupt your podcast, I'm going to have some better light.
Hey, man, it's all good, man. I appreciate you. They appreciate you. Everybody in the chat said they really appreciate this conversation.
What's up, chat?
I did too, man. Definitely.
Let me pull up chat here. Just messed up my camera. I'm not used to using this anymore.
Oh, man. StreamYard. Is this your first time on StreamYard?
No, I've used it a couple times in the past, but it's been a while. I've been trying to get my own thing going, but I just haven't had any time to it. So you know how that gets.
Yeah. All the time.
So how long you been doing the show, man?
I've been doing the show for about 2 years.
2
Probably
years? Okay.
a year. I just started doing the live shows, but been making
Yeah.
videos for a couple years. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
3 years.
Yeah, I'm glad this randomly came up on my stream or
Oh,
on my feed.
Right. I appreciate you for tapping in. I think I seen you comment before on some show I had. I'm not sure if it was you, but your name do look familiar.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, I kind of a unique name, so
Yeah.
if you see it, you see it.
Right. But I'm glad you popped in on the show, man. Anything you want to, before you land your plane, you want to give us anything before you land your plane?
No, man, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me on here.
No doubt.
This is cool, man. I really like what you got going on. So
Awesome.
just wanted to give you some love.
I appreciate you, Patrick, man. I hope to see you on some more. I want to interview you again, man. This was good, man. You opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. So I hope the chat got the gems.
Yep.
Right.
Well, don't worry. Next time I'll flip it and I'll interview you in the middle of it.
Oh, man, that'll be dope.
All right. Take care,
Patrick.
brother.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace, bro. Shout out to Patrick, man. Shout out to everybody who joined the chat, man. I talked a lot about a lot of stuff in this chat, but mainly what's going over there in LA, the paid protesters that I feel like is being paid. If you ask me, good intervention. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. We have so many other things to learn that watching Ratchet TV and non-educational content, it's time for us to step our game. Yeah, definitely. And I knew what Patrick was talking about the gold, buying gold here. But now it's like I understand a lot better. No other country is gonna want to come here and buy the gold like this. They already know that, people are ripping people off. So no, you was good, Patrick. That was good, man. Yeah, no more hip hop, man. Universal basic income. No more hip hop. Well, it is some no more of the negative hip hop, But we definitely got to steer people on the right path. And it's about everybody being pimp right now, man. Even, Mexico, black, white, the higher ups is getting over. I wish you would have asked him how he feels about reparations. That question always seems to choke them up. Not necessarily, bro. It's people that understand that about reparations too, about, and they rocking with it. So I wouldn't be so quick to put him in there that he don't I wouldn't be so quick to put him in that where he don't about reparations. They are people that I ran into that they do. Yeah, I see the oil, right. Cody said like he got a good answer for reparations. You see? Man, should have. We're gonna have to get you on though, Patrick, man. That was a shout out to Mr. Molden, man. I appreciate you for tapping in, brother. Man, we had a big one today. Just talk about the paid protesters, man. That's my thing. The paid protesters that's going around. They've been doing this with the Black Lives Matter movement. I was never a supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement. I didn't support that. I didn't support. It's a lot of things that the target rental mobs. For real. That's all they do is renting mobs and having it. Let me see who we got here, man. We got Doge.
To accept, press 1.
What's good, Doge? You there? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's poppin', water guy?
What's good, fam?
I'm just checking in, See that the stream has been live for about an hour or so.
Yeah, it's been live for an hour, man. I've been really going over the paid protesters, the Lord Jamar and Vlad, and the Ceddy Nash, him being a crisis actor. So we got actors that's being paid for crisis situations. How you feel about this, man? I want to get your opinion on it.
That's a great question. If I do say so myself. The crisis actors, that's no surprise to me. There's good ones, very good ones. They put on a terrific performance. It's almost terrifying. And then you have the bad ones that are just pathetic. And, man, we've seen this one before. As an observer, and also I use my actuary skills. And I'm not someone who predicts the future.
Right.
But I have a skill that I've developed where I can foresee events through the behavior of the environment, physical behavior. And what's concerning to me, I would think for your audience,
Mm-hmm.
if it's in a conversation of reparations, it may come in the next 4 years.
Yeah? Why you say that?
Do you want to know how?
How?
Well, there's been discussions on, say, for instance, in an alternate reality, 4 years from now, the DNC comes back and they win. What do you think they're going to do with these people who are deported?
What are they going to do with them? Bring them back?
That's a very strong possibility with the DNC coming back and bringing the illegals back. And one other thing. Do you believe that reparations would not be out the way with the DNC with the illegals coming back and giving them reparations?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And these are some of the things that I foresee depending in the next 4 years, short amount of time, because that is a strong possibility with a vindictive party coming back, bringing everyone else back, and then compensating with reparations. Is that the reckoning of awakening for everyone to see, like, hey, is that not the playbook, though?
It seems like it could be a playbook. Seems like it could be. Seems like it. Now, did you sponsor or did you co-sign the Black Lives Matter movement when that was around?
Emphatically, no.
Right.
And that is a great question. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer that, and that's a little sentimental, but it's not gonna be long one day.
Go ahead.
It was when a brother from New York named his name was a brother who was walking the streets in the Bronx. He was FBI, and these two illegal immigrants from Mexico had a discrepancy in line and say he stole and mugged them, stole their iPad, and he ended up doing 3 years behind bars. His family didn't have enough money to bond him out. He was in Rikers Island getting punished and tortured. Jay-Z made a documentary on him, and shortly after the documentary, he committed and unalived himself from all the trauma. And they tried to find these people and get them back to the States, but they fled because they didn't want to go into the courtroom. And they fled, and that was enough for me. Does anyone remember his name? Started with K.
No.
But yeah, see, that was the turning point for me, and I just was turned off about what's going on, and I couldn't get up with that. You know, I just saw what was going on around my area, the protesting. It looked so manufactured. You know, These college kids, they're so impressionable, they'll do anything. And I saw the red, black, and green flag, and it just was turned into pink, red, and yellow, and purple, and green. And I was like, whoa, like, what's going on here? And I never joined with them. I know my life matters, and I know human life matters. However, it is to be determined It is to be determined.
So you felt like that was politicized from the jump. That's what you basically saying.
Yeah, and I don't regret it.
Right.
I just like the word woke. I mean, this was given away. This was given away, and it's going to be bad, and it got bastardized. But there's a stance to that. I mean, you can go overboard with it, and that's exactly what's going on. These people went overboard with it. In all demographics, it doesn't have a racial sense to me. You can pick up that mindset and overdose on it.
Right. So you're saying the same thing they could do with the Latinos right now with having that. It's the same thing. Avatar, what's good?
They're trying to right now crowbar the situation, say these people are Holocaust survivors, basically.
No.
They're calling people Nazis. They're so perverted. They're waving Gaza flags. They're doing way too much extra stuff.
Right.
You can tell this is a production. This is a highly financed production, and it's not running out of money.
No, it's not running out of money because GS ain't running out. GS ain't running out of money over there. I forget what country he's in, but I don't like to say his name on my stream. But y'all put together. Somebody put his name in the. Y'all know the old guy.
Yeah. But you need to watch out for. I'm hearing about the younger.
Yeah, his son.
Yeah.
His son. Yeah, his son is really running things right now. And same bloodline. Same.
He been watching. He like the young Eli.
Yeah.
You like young Eli. You like young X. No, you see how young X be watching?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what AS looks like, but I'm pretty sure he was always around. Like you see, like how like little Floyd Jr.'s grandson be around and just be studying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like so when these people get the power to do certain
that's how
things,
they do
man,
it. They put their kids right in position. Yeah, the higher ups. They don't play about that. That's how Bill Gates got to where he's at, because he had parents that had a lot of wealth, and they was able to just groom him as a kid just to be a robot.
You can see that social awkwardness.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's what we got to go up against if we trying to get them, take them out. Treaty.
So when it comes down to this money stuff, and we see these things that are going on, and I think someone mentioned gold. Mm-hmm. It is way too high, but I do think it can reach 4,000. I think it could reach 4,000, the price of gold, for an ounce of gold. And silver, that would be the one to jump into if you're into precious metals. But I always would say this: uranium. Never underestimate the cheap penny stock uranium ones. Just if you have money, hold on to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that the uranium. You see what's going on with Israel, and they busting off at the Iranians.
Yeah.
And this is what caused the price of oil to go up.
Right.
And I suspected that.
Yeah.
I suspected this was in play.
Yeah.
But I would say the next thing that's in play is this.
Definitely. I need
I would say this. Uranium. Get it.
I thought they could find uranium in the U.S. too, over there in North Carolina, but I want to talk about like it's here in the United States, but I want to have a day that we talk about this. We got to be more talking about the money, And because it's definitely big. I like what Patrick said. I like what you're saying.
Have your food and water stocked up. As much as people, I'm not saying go all out, but just be mindful. You see a burning car, you see this like coyote type of stuff. I'm talking about like, coyotes are known to play dead. And next thing you know, there's 3 others coming after you once you go up to the one that's playing dead. It's like a drill. So when you see a car that's burning on the side of the road or people waving for help, do not stop.
Right. Okay.
You can always call the police. You can always throw out a bottle of water.
Got you.
But do not stop.
Do not stop. All right, Doge, man, before you land your plane, go ahead and give us something before you land your plane, man.
I would think for everyone right now, NRGU. That is the leverage oil, U.S. oil, 3x leverage, bullish, meaning striking up. And then there's also the NRGD. That is the 3x inverse, bearish, striking down. Oil is up. So NRGU, which is cheaper right now, is the way to go. And I think it can reach, with this situation, I think by tomorrow morning, you'll see the oil tickers on the futures reaching a little past 80.
Gotcha.
Happy Friday 13th, everyone. Enjoy.
For real. I appreciate you, Doge, man. Stay tapped in.
Absolutely. Keep your head up. And
right,
I love the show.
Oh, man. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. All right, guys. So had to put in a little bit of help. Y'all know on this channel we about health and wealth and a better understanding of self. That's the motto. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man, to get more content like this. I try to just get perspectives and give my opinion on things because I feel like it's a big script that they playing out with the news and everything. Salute to you, Race here, saying everybody got to stay strapped out here. Yeah, your water and food is definitely important. I'll tell you that much. But y'all know I'm a water treatment specialist, man. I provide purified drinking water or treating water, taking iron, sulfur, whatever water problems you got, just installed in the guy's irrigation because he had his lawn was staining his house and the sidewalk orange, and was able to put an iron filter in there. So I'm trying to get bigger to take care of all your water needs. So if y'all definitely keep me posted on that. The website is envirely.io. But yeah, that's what I do. But this channel was strictly about health, wealth, and bettering self. So I appreciate everybody commenting in the comment section, giving your takes, because it's very much needed. And just giving the knowledge. Shout out to Patrick, Guyan. Be active. I heard you talking about the FBA. I want to address that. You were saying the FBA. I don't think people take FBA and they taking it as where you have a problem with anybody else. It's just letting people know where you originally from. You know, a lot of people don't think that people are from America. They thinking that, okay, if you're here, you got to be from somewhere else. So that's all. There are indigenous people that's from here. It's, you know, our people was all over the land, all over the lands. You know, they were once connected, but definitely. Shout out to Awadia from Senegal. I appreciate you for tapping in. But yeah, we do this Thursdays in the weekend. I normally do lives, but I normally do videos throughout the week and try to stay up on content that we need to be focused on, you know, or that catches my eye. So make sure y'all tap in, hit that like button for me, and Definitely, I got another video coming out tomorrow. I still got big homie CC. He been hitting me late night, and I'm trying to get him on. But we got some more interviews coming and just more great content. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Love, appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.